Hello, my name is Pete. Today I'm going to be telling you about carbon emissions and carbon disclosure with the help from Mr. Porter and my colleague Jent. On March 6, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission decided to require companies to disclose important climate information highlighted by greenhouse gas emissions and climate risks in filing documents.
Mr. Porter, can you explain to me what carbon emissions are?
Well, carbon emissions are a byproduct of human activity and energy production and are largely due to fossil fuels. CO2 produced is responsible for 80% of overall GHG emissions.
The SEC will require disclosures for climate-related impacts of business operations that pose a potential risk to investors, along with reporting their Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions. SEC-registered public companies will report this in their registration statements and periodic reports. Smaller and emerging growth companies are exempt from disclosing Scope 1 and 2 emissions.
Hi, my name is Jent and I work with Pete at Lehman Brothers on the ESG team. Scope 1 emissions are direct emissions from company-owned and controlled resources. Scope 2 emissions are indirect emissions from the generation of purchased energy from a utility.
Today in class we are going to take a look at what ExxonMobil will now have to report in their future 10K reports. For Scope 1, they will be required to report emissions from extraction and processing of oil and natural gas. For Scope 2, they will report indirect emissions associated with the use of electricity.
Don't you think the SEC should require them to disclose more, Mr. Porter?
While this is progress, there are other more extensive initiatives out there like the Carbon Disclosure Project that helps companies understand their climate impact and take collective action to mitigate climate change.